because that story is absolutely wild. Also, I'm pretty sure I just sneezed directly into the microphone, so I apologize for that. Also, Michael, it's your job to make sure that this is not up. So you need to be better about that. Come on now, Michael. Should the Arizona Cardinals go back to starting Kyler Murray? We talked about this yesterday on the Cardinals Squad show, and I thought it was interesting. Should the Cardinals, when Kyler Murray is off IR, start again for this team? Let me give you two different perspectives that I think can be seen as logical both ways. One, you have the fan perspective, who I think most fans would still say Kyler Murray's better than Jacoby Brissett. That is not the winning argument Kyler Murray fans think it is. Jacoby Brissett is a career backup. Kyler Murray better be better than him. That is not the litmus test. However, if you start Kyler Murray, I would probably guess that the Cardinals would be closer to winning more games than not, which means knocking them out of prime draft pick positioning. And I get that perspective. I understand it. I will see it through. However, it's just a bad mindset. As much as I want the Cardinals, the fan in me, to lose every single game for the rest of the year, what does that do? What does that do? It only takes them out of prime, what I believe, or what does it do? It only takes them out of prime draft picking position. However, you do not want this team to win 2 to 3 games. You don't want that. Losing is incredibly infectious. And just getting, the Cardinals aren't going to get the number 1 pick, but just getting the number 1 overall pick for the sake of getting the number 1 overall pick doesn't fix anything. The Jacksonville Jaguars got the number 1 pick, got Trevor Lawrence. What did it do? Titans got the number 1 pick, got Cam Ward. What did it do? Sam Bradford years ago to the St. Louis Rams. What did it do? Jared Goff to the St. Louis Rams. What did it do? They ended up trading him. Just because you fall flat on your face and lose every game and end up having the 1 or 2 pick, what does it do? It's better to let the chips fall where they may, meaning the Cardinals are probably going to have a top 8 pick in what is not a very good quarterback draft. And I don't think they're going to move up for everyone. And again, I usually don't look at the chat right now, but it just caught my eye. My guy Brian in the chat, I really want Fanu over any of these quarterbacks, fix the O-line. I promise you, if the Arizona Cardinals take a guard, wait a second, he might be a right tackle. If he's a right tackle, I'll take this back a little bit. But if the Cardinals take a guard with the top 8 pick, I'm going to lose my marbles. You could fix the offensive line. Trade back then. Trade back and take Fanu. All right? I'm not being serious when I say this, but I'd rather have Jordan Tyson than I would Fanu because I'd rather have a more premium position than guard. But I actually think Fanu's a right tackle. Okay, Fanu's a right tackle. My bad. My apologies. I would take a right tackle at the 8th spot, kid out of Utah. I just wasn't sure if he played tackle or guard. With that being said, you probably should start Kyler Murray when he comes back. You want to win the most games that you can. And you want to also raise his draft stock a little bit more. I do believe there is a world that if you bench Kyler Murray the rest of the season, opposing teams say, why would I want that guy? He wasn't good enough to beat out Jacoby Brissett. If you start Kyler Murray, you can then play the card of, no, he really was injured. We couldn't play him over Jacoby, but as soon as he was healthy, he's our quarterback. He's our guy. Fork over a 1st or 2nd round pick for him. So I think you start Kyler. It doesn't mean anything with how I feel of Kyler. There's nothing Kyler Murray can do to win me back. He could go undefeated. He won't. In his final 5 games as an Arizona Cardinal, I don't care. I've seen enough. It has been 7 seasons. It's time to move on. Here's the other thing that worries me. Kyler Murray has a trade kicker that if he does not pass a physical in March, it makes a large portion of his contract guaranteed. Do I really want to deal with those demons? Do I really want to deal with those demons if Kyler Murray gets hurt, who is now just an injury-prone player? It might be the risk you have to take. Also, for the people in the chat, this is not me saying that I think Kyler Murray should start. I'm telling you what I think is going to happen. And also, I'm also not saying that I care if he starts or not. The season's over. And there's nothing Kyler do to win me back. At that point, it is about raising draft stock, or it is about raising trade stock. That's all it is about. And I think if you start Kyler, that's what you're doing. You're trying to raise his draft or his trade draft stock any iota to make things a little bit better. Here's the other thing I wanted to say. Because people keep dooming and glooming about this Cardinals team, I need to say something really quickly. This team is not far away from competing. They are not far away from competing. I know it is so easy to be upset and play the traditional Arizona sports fan, everyone hates me, redheaded stepchild, woe is me card. We can't have anything nice. This is unfair. Calm the F down. Kyler Murray to Cliff Kingsbury style. Calm the F down. This team is closer than you think. They just need to find the quarterback. They potentially just need to find the head coach. But what I think is easier to do out of those things in this offense is to find the quarterback. Because this offense and this defense is ready-made for a kid to show up and say, just don't crash the Maserati. Do I have to list the players again? I will. How many teams have a franchise left tackle? A consensus top 6 left tackle in football in Paris Johnson Jr. We could be talking about needing both tackles. They don't. They need one. How many teams have a clear wide receiver 2 in Michael Wilson? How many teams have a wide receiver as talented as Marvin Harrison Jr.? How many teams have Trey McBride? And your one draft pick selection in the second round from having an elite running back. Those are easy to find. Combine it with this defense that, let's not play revisionist history, when healthy was one of the best defenses in the NFL. Like, let's not be wrong here. Like, let's be fair here. It was very good when this defense had everyone healthy. They're not that far away, guys. I actually think the Jets and the Cardinals are like one of the same. They got Fashanu, the offensive tackle. They've got Garrett Wilson. They've got Breece Hall. They've got defensive pieces. They've got a lot of draft capital. Like, I don't think they're super far away either. And they've got a lot of draft picks. So it's just interesting. Like, Walter Nolan is on the defensive line. My guy Brian is pointing out in the chat as well. That has helped bring out some of the better parts of Darius Robinson, who I still think has a pretty far ways to go. Remember, he was a first-round pick. But I'm just saying, like, this team's closer than you think. They've got to get the quarterback. That's tough to do, but I think it's easier to do than the head coach, because this offense is so ready-made for a quarterback to come in and take over the reins. So, like, this season sucks, guys, but things turn around really quickly in the NFL, and I think this can turn around fairly quickly.